Hey Scrapper Names fans, and welcome back to another process video. This one is a double page project live spread documenting or starting to document the Flutterby Designs retreat I went to in 2018. Not last year's one. So, now I do apologise, I just realised when I was editing, there's a bit of footage missing from the beginning here, but basically all I'm doing here is working on my title card. I am trying to use some cards from my stash, plus this Project Life spread has printable pieces from the designer Retro Hip Mama, is what her tag is on Instagram. Otherwise she owns Retro Hip Co. So I subscribe to her magazine, and in that is lots of printables, and so I thought I would dig them out and use them. This is only the second month that I've got her magazine, and love all the retro. So what I'm doing here though is, as I said, my title card. What I've done is using the Heidi Swap Colour Story as well collection. There was a frame in that, and I've just chopped it in half and put it on either corner. I liked the black and white tone of this card just to really give it some pop and tie in with the rest of the spread a bit, with some of the darker colours that were in it, but it did make it tricky to work with. I didn't want it for like matting any of my photos on or anything like that, because some of the photos are a bit dark, so it does make it, it did make it a little bit tricky. So now I'm working on, one of my filler cards. So this little pocket page card is one of the Retro Hip printables, and what I'm using here is a DIY embellishment that I got from my bestie. She made some envelopes of DIY embellishments, and this was part of it. I can't remember what this one says, and I can't see it on my editing screen very well, but there's two little labels underneath it as well, and I was going to journal on it, and then I changed my mind and just completely made it just a decorative piece, and just using some other leftover printables from, I think, my past Kitaholic kits. I have them all in a little IKEA container, little one that you'll see probably pop up on my desk at some point there. So, this isn't a filler card. This ended up being a journaling card. Sorry, I'm not doing the voiceover at my desk where the spread is, so I can't see what was in there. I can't remember what was what. So yes, I'm stamping on this in the corner here. I have this stamp set that I won as a gift, as a prize, at last year's Flutterby Design Retreat, and it's got all like crafty pictures and pieces and things like that on it. So this one, I couldn't fit the ones that I wanted originally on the card once I'd put everything else down, so I just popped that little pink the little paint pot piece, I think it is, in the bottom corner there, just to give it a little bit of life, I guess. And journaled a little bit about my trip. So this, excuse me. So I have this double page spread for this event. I then have another pocket page, I think a double one as well. I also have a 12 by 12 layout, which will be coming out later in the week. That's a selfie, and then another 12 by 12 layout. Actually doesn't have a video. I did have it up on my Instagram page, plus another one that's coming out I will have a video for at some point in the next probably week. So there's a fair few photos for this, but that's okay. It was lots of fun. This card's another one that's a Retro Hip Mama card and embellishment. So the tag is, the other embellishment is a DIY embellishment from the same lot that I got from my best friend. I think the tag says we go together like music and road trips or something like that, and it's so appropriate, which you will see in a little bit, but I'll just, spoiler alert. We had like a whole heap of CDs, and we just cruised the 8 hours from here to, where is it, Gunnedah? I think it's Gunnedah, out near Tamworth, to all these old school 90s like tunes and sung away, and yeah, so it was definitely pretty cool. But yes, so this was perfect, this tag for that. And I went with the pops of red because there's some like pink and reds in the actual photos themselves, little pops of them. So I just thought it was another colour to really, it's quite a multicoloured layout actually when I think about it. There's like greens and there's reds and there's black and white, and I think there's some blue pops in there as well, and yeah, so why not? Yeah, there's some blue there. So now I think this is the photo that has all the CDs in it. Yes, it does. Pretty certain that's what it looks like. Gosh, this screen is so tiny. But yes, so as I said, there was like, I took this photo just before we left. I pulled out all my old CDs, and my car has like a 6-stacker CD player, so it was, yeah, I think our theme song ended up being Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, just because we could really. And, you know, pelting down the country roads, you know, bellowing that out. It was good fun, good times. But yes, so this was some of our CD collection and music selection. Which was good. And I'm just using one of the labels from Retro Hip Mama's printables as well. I really love these actually. I don't use labels enough, I think, sometimes. I think I don't put them on my 12x12s. I seem to use labels a lot in my project life because it's like this. It's really great when you are popping them onto a photo just to explain like a really obscure photo. There's like 1,000 CDs and you're going, what the? I know what that means. People who, you know, some people might know what that means. But yeah, so it was, they're really handy that way. I think I embellished every single photo, which I haven't done for ages in a pocket page spread. Once upon a time, I used to go nuts with them, like with embellishing my project life spreads, and then I was discovering that my albums were getting too chunky. So I sort of, come back a little bit from that. But this one, not so much, but I didn't use lots of 3D, like dimensional embellishment, sorry, momentary blankness then. So that sort of keeps the pages a little bit squished down, which is good. Oh, where have I gone? And some of them are just simple, like these little pieces here just to journal on, and there's like a little phrase piece that's also from the printables that I have. So I think it's issue 9. So issue 10's just come out of the Retro Hip magazine. I think it was issue 9 potentially. The theme was all around friendship and things like that. So obviously this worked really well for me for this this spread. So hence why I've used them so much in this. And I'll try and pop them on some of the other spreads as well as the 12x12s I'm doing. But yes. So that was a picture of my car, the back of my car. Now I have a 7-seater car, and it was full. So yeah, and it was, and I mean full, like you couldn't fit anything else in. And that was with us trying to condense and prep for like 2 weeks leading up to the retreat as to what we were taking and what we were working on, and oh my gosh. But it was our first retreat ever, so for the both of us. So we were absolutely cheering. So, and then when I went last year, I had kind of learnt my lesson of what I needed to take and what I didn't need to take. So I condensed it down a little bit more. All right, so over to the second page, where I use, so this card is, I think I tied in some of the core kit think it's prismatic. No, maybe not. Oh, maybe it is. I can't remember now. But it's an older core kit, like I've had it for a while. So I tied that in with this spread as well. So as I said, there's like a mix of colours here. Now, and this is just a picture of the lake. So the Flutterby Retreat is always done by Lake Keep It recreation area. It's quite lovely. That was a really nice photo compared to what it was last year when we went, which was pretty much nothing. It was really horrible to see how badly the drought had hit the area. I struggle sometimes to put embellishments on photos because I don't want to take. I'm always really mindful not to take away from the photo, but always, there's always little negative spaces that you don't necessarily need to show, I guess. So this one got some embellishing on it, not too much. Again, just there's that little IKEA container I was talking about, the little tub dish thing there. I think it's from the kitchen section, and I just have I think half a dozen of them in a drawer. No, maybe more than that, maybe about 9 in a drawer in my IKEA Alex drawers next to my desk, and it's got all my little bits and pieces like this, which has got leftover little printable pieces from my Kitaholic kits in it. And then there's also in that drawer there's like flare badges and wood veneer and things like that, or some of my wood veneer, which I use shortly. So just journaling here on another one of the retro hip cards. I did, for some reason, it was printed, and they didn't print it a 4x6, or not 4x6, but the right size for these little pockets. So I backed that one onto just a blank Project Life card, the old grid cards you used to get. I don't think you can get them anymore, I'm not sure. Which gave it a really nice little white border, so it didn't faze me too much, but it filled the space without, I didn't want it to have like blank space around it. And I wasn't sure what to do on this card. I really liked the colours, the rainbow colours on it, but I don't know, I was feeling in a very embellishing mood, who knows, but it felt like I needed to put something there, and so I just went with a tag, again one of the printables, the retro hip printables, and then a nice green bold embellishment piece from the Colour Story ephemera pack of Heidi Swaps. So ties a bit more of the green in to the spread as well. I think it hung over a little bit. What have we got here? Can't see what I'm doing. Oh, a circle printable label. Nice and handy. I think, is this a picture of the craft math, or the start of it? We had just started scrapping that night. That's what this photo is. So you get there on the Thursday night. You stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think that's right. Was it Friday, Saturday? No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we didn't get there till late this year, or late that year. And everyone else had already started, and we walk in about 8:30, I think it was, after I hit a kangaroo with my car. It kind of jumped into me, and yeah, so we set up and we got fairly straight into it. We just, we were so excited to be there, and everyone was just crafting. I really didn't expect. I think we were a bit taken aback that everyone was just into it. So it was really good. But yeah, so this is my double page spread completed. Here's some close-up photos for you. As I said, I've used a mix of, a lot of there is the retro Hip Mama printables, as well as the Heidi Swap Colour Fresh for the embellishments more so, and then some other bits and pieces from Stash, but mostly those things are used in this in this spread. You can check out Retro Hip Mama at Retro Hip Co. This isn't sponsored at all. But yeah, check out the magazine, check out the printables, all those bits and pieces. And I thank you so much for watching again and stopping by. And if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And again, remember the thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Thanks again, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Artlist.io